this computer. Okay, so we're talking about how to present the offer. So let me go back. This is the way that I present. This is actually a very informal way because I haven't write the offer letter that long, but this alone is good enough, right? So shady meal. Let me go all the way to the beginning. Yeah, solid cash offer. Shady meal. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so on at my email, I usually write something really catchy, something that that your buyer have the unfair advantage on. I usually include that in the email. So for example, this particular offer, right? This is a cash offer. So I just type in solid cash offer for 7414 shady meal. And I would say something really quick like, hey, Rochelle. Love seeing your listing on HAR. Hopefully this is the day when we have a chance to do business together again. So I remind her because I look at my email and I did business with her a couple years ago. So I remind her, like, hey, we actually did business before and we had a great transaction. So let's do it again. So if you can do that, instant rapport relationship. Please see in the attachment the cash offer for your home, right? For 180, 123. I usually go with the odd number because more than likely most of the offer that they are getting is going to be round number, right? 180, 170, 190. So just throw something fun in there like 123, whatever your lucky number is, Megan, Mike, Michelle, Michael, 789, 934. Just throwing your the last three, just throwing your lucky number, right? Throw it in would term favor the seller, solid buyer, fast closing, no rammer. I even say that upfront, like, hey, I don't want any rammer. I just want to close the deal with you and get it over with, right? No rammer. So the buyer already saw the property this morning, really important. A lot of people, especially in the investment world, they're making sight unseen, right? And then when you say accepted, and then they go see it, right? So I don't want that to be the case. I assure her that the buyer already saw the home this morning, and I'm looking forward to work with her again. And in my video, all right, it's just a really short, less than 1 minute video. I use Loom. Loom is really cheap. It's only like $10, $15 per month. But it's just a way that you can quickly record your video if you have a webcam and a good microphone. Just quickly record yourself talking about the offer and then send it off together with with the email, right? And then I mean AI, it even translate the offer for you. So I always, use this kind of format. Make sure you have your cover, make sure you have your offer already typed up, and make sure you have your pre-approval or proof of fund ready, and then you send it off, right? And this is going to be a really, really strong offer. And the cool thing about writing, using the video, this video, when people click on it and they watch it, you have a notification that say like, hey, this video has been watched 1 time, this video has been watched 2 times, 3 times. So it's really funny whenever I see that my video has been watched more than 2 or 3 times, I know that I have very high chance of getting the offer accepted because sometimes the listing agent watch it, they forward to the seller watch it, and then maybe they watch it again before they answer. So whenever I see the view count go to like 2 or 3, I immediately follow up with them. It's like, hey, just want to check in on the offer. Is there anything I can do to sweeten up the deal? Right? So I usually say that sweeten up the deal. So yeah, if you can incorporate video in your offer presentation, super, super powerful. Yeah. So Michael, I hope this helped.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. And learn from the other agent, right? So for example, when I see somebody have like really, really cool template, I just copy it from them. So for example, I don't know if you guys know Hing, but Hing email is like out of the world. It's so good. And I usually, pick something good from the other agent that I did the deal with. And then I, whatever that I can apply to my business, I will go ahead and do that. So for example, yeah, this is also a really good one. So if you know Hey, right? Her email is so good, right? Hey, Hui, please see the attached offer for da 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 da. She even summarized everything for me. I don't even have to watch the offer in order to know what's in it. She summarized everything for me. She CC the lender called me right after that, and this is really important as well, right? Please confirm the receipt of the offer. So whenever you see something cool from the other agent, right, learn from them, copy from them. So that's how I keep on improving my buyer presentation skill is to do more deal and then work with the other agent, learn what work for them. Like, hey, this is really cool. I think I'm gonna use that for my own business, and then just and then copy from them, right? You can copy and duplicate. Oh, Amanda, I didn't see you in here. I
I love
thought,
the subject line too, where she's like, "This is important," or "Great cash offer," as is. And so when you're getting a lot of offers, or you don't know if you really want to take it, I think that really helps you stand out. Of even if I had one last week where I had five offers somehow. Like normally I don't, but on this one it was a junky investment house, and I had five offers, and one was cash and it was above list, and the other one was conventional and it was only at list, but I really wanted to work with her. And so sometimes we ended up going with the cash one, but she's a backup. Sometimes if you're a likable agent who's saying, "Hey, I'm going to work hard for you. I'm going to send you a video so you see my face. I'm a real person. This is not just a transaction. There's not going to be any drama." Sometimes being a good agent, even if you don't have the best terms as an offer, will get you the deal. Because I really wanted to work with, I was even telling the seller, "Hey, this is going to be a smoother transaction." So I think those little things make such a huge impact. Right now, we're not seeing a lot of multiple offers and competitive things. But even as an investor, if you're making, an offer 5 or 10% below list price to show the value of, I'll be easy to get along with, that's awesome. Good tip.
yeah. So since we're talking about this topic, since I have my screen open, let me just show you guys one more thing, right? So EXP, they have this really cool website. It's called the EXP Toolkit. EXP Toolkit. So if you go here, right, you're gonna have basically this is the business at your fingertip, right? If you work with your buyer, and if you need some more information, more training, all you need to do is go to exprealty.com/toolkit and then click on buyer and then click on let's go, right? You're gonna have your whole buyer presentation here, right? Everything from how to articulate your value, right? What form to use, buyer presentation. We just talked about that, right? Social media, basically everything that you need to know in order to start representing a buyer is all in here on one page, right? So if you are attracting new agent, right, it's a great way to send them here, so that way we can learn the basic first before we can come in with more advanced training. All the script, all the buyer script is here. Really, really good script. And man, they just update the site. I didn't even know like all this video, it did not exist. Oh man, this is so cool, right? When is the best time to buy a home? How do you respond to that? Do I need to have a down payment set before I'm looking? I mean, like, oh, this script is just like you will run into this question, right? So it's best to go here, get educated, get trained on, and then you practice it. You practice with either your script partner or even AI now, right? Just to get the script, dial in and internalize it. It's really cool. Buyer roadmap is also here, single property form. Oh man, this is really, really cool, right? And then, same thing on the seller. You also have everything that you need to know in order to work with a seller. I mean, they just updated this site. I'm super, super excited. Yeah, oh, look, Riley is here. Yeah, go ahead, Amanda.
They added a wraparound form. I've seen so many people say, "Hey, I can offer you this if it's a cash offer, but if you can let me do a wrap on your mortgage, the price will be list price." And I saw that on the buyer toolkit. They actually added that as a form for us. So it's
Really?
nice.
Man. Oh, look
Very
at that. Look at that. The seller net sheet is here. So now I can update, my crappy seller net sheet with this one, and you can just download it, right? Multiple offer review sheet. I know I'm gonna use this a lot because when you work with seller, right, this is so important to let the seller know their bottom line, right? Never leave the listing agreement, listing presentation without giving the seller the net bottom line. So that way you set the right expectation. And they have it right here, the seller net sheet. This is
That's
really, really
I
cool.
I had a seller, God, like a month ago, and he was bragging about how he's done lots of investments, he's done lots of flips, he's done all these things. He was super experienced, but it was my first time to work with him. And so I went over the offer with him. We executed it. It was cash. We were going to close in a couple of weeks. And then when the title company sent the closing disclosure, he's like, "Well, I didn't realize, a title policy was
Hmm.
more, he thought it would be like $200 and it was like $3,000. And
Yeah,
I didn't realize that I had to pay this fee and that fee, and what's this home warranty thing? And we had talked about it, but he didn't see it on a net sheet. And so
hmm,
even if they say they're experienced or they've done a bunch of deals, those it might take 2 minutes to say, hey, title company, can you make a fee and send it to them because
yeah.
expectations are everything. And it's amazing how I ended up going, okay, I'll give you a credit for the home warranty because I want to keep doing business with you. But
Mhm.
he truly, with the best of intentions, didn't know how to do math on the things that we do every single day we take for granted.
Exactly. Yeah. I think, other than the marketing, selling yourself, I think one of the most important thing when working with a seller is actually transparency. You have to let them know that the bottom line, hey, when the home gets sold, this is going to be the fee. You might have to pay, the buyer might ask you for this much. So be super, super transparent because selling a house actually costs money. So be super transparent with the seller is actually the first step for you to get your listing, right? Don't try, make sure you try to disclose all the fee and all the possible outcome that will come with the sale of the house, right? Sometimes right now in this market, the seller gonna have negative equity. You have to tell them that in advance, like, hey, Mr. Seller, you're gonna sell this home and you have to put money into it in order to sell the home. But sometimes you have to bite the bullet and then get out of the bad deal so we can start working on the good deal. So I think transparency is one of the key issue when start working with a seller. And they start with a seller net sheet right here. Tell them exactly how much they're gonna net.
Has anyone in the Zoom had any situations so far where a seller bought during COVID or peak, prime season, and then now they're trying to sell and they might make just a tiny bit of money, or they might be upside down, or they're just trying to break even, or they've
Yeah,
missed a mortgage payment?
yeah, I have like a deal like that right now with some new investors and they're trying to sell this house. So yeah, they're gonna end up losing money on it.
Mm, yeah. So how do you was it an easy conversation, Megan? How do you have to what do you have to do to navigate them, through this it's kind of difficult process for them.
Yeah, so it was an expired listing and so they're very motivated to sell. Um the comps were showing 210 and they wanted to list at 215. And we got an offer within like a week, and then the buyers fell through like a week before closing because they couldn't get approved for the loan. So now we're back on market, and um, we're talking to someone now who may submit an offer, but if not, then we need to lower it. And I suggested like 210, but they said they'd be okay with like 208. So they're just ready to sell it, I can tell. But
That's good.
also, like since it's an expired, they're just not very trusting of me and like questioning everything that I'm doing. And
Mm.
like usually I do 6-month listing agreements, but they wanted to do like 3-month. So I'm just trying to get it sold fast.
Yeah. I think sometimes I do 3 months as well, right? And then if things go well,
Yeah.
and then you can always extend. But I think that's good. That's some of the things that I actually like backed out on.
Hmm.
Feel comfortable with me, and then if they can continue, they can continue. But yeah,
Yeah.
be super upfront with them about like the net, the bottom line net. I think that
Mhm.
would be trust.
Yeah. Um, so I didn't go inside the house. Like I saw the pictures from when it was last listed and I just put the sign and lockbox out there. And I know like a lot of agents use Sign Boss to help them do that, but I wasn't aware the house smells like smoke and they didn't tell me that. And um so that was some of the feedback we received and so he asked me himself. He's like, "Did you even go inside the house and like smell it yourself?" And I was like, "No, like I just put the sign and lockbox out." So I think he was kind of
Oh,
disappointed
okay.
about that. But I'm like, I know a lot of agents just use Sign Boss and never even go to the house. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
like,
would go. If it's safe for you, of course, I would, especially with people that I never work with, or if there's a house that I'm unsure about the condition, I would go there and do an assessment to see, what else the seller need to do, what kind of improvement they need to do in order to get the price that they want. So I would, go in the house and I would take assessment of the house if it's safe for you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would do that. Go
Okay.
ahead, Amanda.
That is tricky. I mean, if it's far, I mean, ideally you go one time and then you're done, right? But if
Yeah.
it's far, you could say, why do you think the house didn't sell before? What feedback did you get previously? Any negative feedback? What should we be aware of? That way we can overcome those objections before they happen. And
Mm,
usually then they'll say, oh, some people think it smells like cigarettes, or some people think it smells like this. And then you'll kind of have a heads up. If not, you'll get that as feedback from the other realtors. And
mhm.
then instead of going, oh, I'm so surprised that it smells like cigarettes, say, as you likely know, someone did smoke in the house. And so that's been something we've got to kind of, so you could go along with it almost like you knew, and then present it as a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're always learning. I feel like every file is so different. And the minute you think you've got it all figured out, you're going to get a curveball thrown at you. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm just gonna pick a few more things on the toolkit right here, and I think we can end the mastermind a little early today. The sponsorship, right? I think other than you, Megan, we're gonna work on hopefully getting you sponsor person or two. But Michael, same with Mike, but Michael, Jeff, me and Manda Kai, right? We all sponsor agent. And sometimes we just wonder like, hey, what is a great role of a sponsor? And right here, I actually like it. It actually lists down like, hey, what is the role of a sponsor, right? You have to guide people, relationship, retention. It's just everything is super organized in the EXP toolkit. So I really, really like this new website of EXP. They lay out exactly, the role, the responsibility, from buyer, seller, as a sponsor, as a mentor, and then they link, really, really good training, right? The fast cap that we've been taking. They have faster track, they have fast cap, so a lot of resource that I think the company EXP they provide to us, and sometimes like I might say, we kind of take things for granted. One day, I remember somebody say about like somebody wait like 3-4 weeks for them to get paid on a commission. I mean, I'm born and raised at EXP. I get paid on day one, right? I never have that issue, but you're gonna be surprised at all the brokerage. A lot of people they will wait, like 2 or 3 weeks in order for them to get their check. So, but yeah, this is a great value, great site for you to come and visit, to learn more about company, right? The more you plug in, the more you understand the EXP product, the more you're gonna be able to confidently, share that with people. This is really good. They totally revamped the site. Oh, hello there.
It's wild because 10 years ago we had to create everything and we had to do all the everything, design work and what do we think that we need for our group. And now EXP's, I mean, throwing millions and millions of dollars into stuff that is
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, this is really good. They lay it down. Number one, number two, financial. They even have, we're gonna start to leverage this now just to kind of keep things, uniform with EXP. Yeah, all the template is gonna be here. Recognized for icon, recognized for a transaction close. This is really good.
So for anyone who does sponsor or wants to sponsor an agent, I feel like leadership is something that I didn't learn in school, and I'm kind of learning it as we grow and I and through books. Jeffrey.
All right.
Sorry, he hit his head. Hold on.
Okay, no worries.
But what I love about EXP is they really invest into leadership. And we actually had John Maxwell, which is like, I read so many of his books. It was like my favorite Zoom of the entire year. I'm still in all over it. But I shared the recording on this chat for y'all. It's
Oh, did we have a recording? Oh my God, that is amazing. Yeah.
it's so good. And it talks about how to get people motivated, how to get them, how to teach them how to be successful. And it talks about how I would do it and show you how I do it. And then I'll do it with you, and then I'll do it from behind, like watching you do it and supporting you. And then what I loved about what he was teaching is he wants to make an impact. And I think that we're all here to make an impact and help each other and have that influence in a positive way. It's he'll tell people, I'll only do this with you and teach you how to do whatever you want to learn, as long as you promise to find someone else and carry on that impact. And so I love what EXP is doing as far as I'll teach you how to be a great successful realtor as long as you promise to take what you learn and give it to someone else.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
That's
man,
right.
thank you for sharing that recording. I didn't know we have it, but that is just a gift from last week, right? Number one, just to show that the company they actually invest a lot of time into our agent. It's not cheap, to bring Maxwell into any speaking event. We have the luxury of having them, speaking directly to us, a group of EXP leader last week. But yeah, like Amanda say, leadership is not something that you can like just take a course, for like 7 days and then you finish with it. It's something that you have to work on it, just like working out, day in and day out, just like tennis, you work on improving your forehand consistently, week after week, year after years, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see the result. I know that it's, right now time is a little tough, right? We have to focus on production. We have to focus on, bringing the money now. But Amanda, would you agree with me that, I just just the way I see like the bigger the leader you are, actually the more money you make. It just somehow happen naturally. That's what I see, what's happening around me. Like if you focus on personal development on top of your sales skill, on top of your production skill. And ultimately, it just somehow lift up everything and everybody around you. And you ultimately, generate more income.
Absolutely. I'm sharing one last spam thing. It's a podcast that I listened to yesterday, and it talks about how if you want to change your environment and the people around you, really working on yourself first and how to like build up your skill set and your mindset and frequency and all these different things. And I think that he talks about, the law of the lid, like a group can only grow as big as their leaders grow. And his joke was if you want to like attract eights to your group, if you will, 8 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, but you're only a four, like you're not doing personal development, you're not learning how to sell houses, you're not learning how to build, builder connections or Instagram or whatever you think that you want to attract. He said you're going to end up with fours. He's like fours wake up and they want to follow fours, or fours wake up and they want to follow eights, but an eight never wakes up and wants to follow a four,
I love
right? And so really building up your skill set and what you're good at and what you're passionate about to be able to make that impact.
Yeah, I love that. And I think a lot of us, usually we quote unquote complain about the type of client that we get, right? But go back to leadership, the way you attract a client, right? Is I think it's directly compatible with your leadership skill. So if you want, let's say quote unquote better client, and then you need to raise your leadership level. So that way you can connect with people, either at your level or above your level. Because otherwise, if you keep working on your production skill and your sales skill and your leadership is still lagging behind, you're gonna run into, the issue of attracting the wrong type of crowd, the wrong type of client into your business. And that's why, some people they their business is so tough is because they neglect the personal development and the relationship, the leadership building skill. And you cannot take a course and be a leader the next day. It's just something you have to work on it day by day, week by week, little by little, and all of a sudden you see the improvement.
He's so cute. And the same thing with revenue share goes. I know that when we're busy in production, it's really hard to go, okay, now I'm going to go take another realtor and teach them how to sell houses, but I'm trying to sell houses. There's such a difference in now money and later money and building that legacy. And I've personally seen some really big producers very close to home that I know that have said, oh, I'll recruit later, or I'll build a team later, or I'll build that business later. I need now money. I have to go show a house. I've got to go put a sign in the yard. I've got to go do X, Y, and Z, which is great. But then you blink and 10 years goes by and they're still doing that grind. And so they'll come to me and say, hey, I need closings. Hey, I need money. Hey, I'm tired of working weekends. Or hey, I've got, a few kids now. And so where's my leverage? And I feel like if you just spend a little bit of time now, every single day, if it's 20 minutes a day or an hour a week, you won't have to worry about always earning that now money. And it's hard to envision 5 years from now or 10 years from now, but it goes by really quickly.
Yeah, I think it's just a little thing that you focus on and you do it every day. Just like focus on buying your first investment property, focusing on developing the next leader in the group. Little thing like that. It will not take a lot of your time, but it's gonna have just like a 1 degree shift that you're gonna do today. It's gonna set your career in a different direction in a couple years later. Yeah, but I think other than that, Amanda, you want to close it up with something, and then next week we're gonna come up with a topic to draw a more bigger group. I actually enjoy smaller group like this. I have a chance to pour into Michael, pour into Mike, pour into Megan, pour into Kai, and then Mahavi, our newest agent. Welcome to the mastermind.
Okay.
You're getting a very small, cozy group today, so feel free to open your mic and talk to everybody. Yeah.
But I will end
Go
with,
ahead.
oh, did he say something?
No, no, go ahead, Amanda.
Talking about, working on things just a little bit at a time. There's a saying that I love, and it says, most people use their weekends to escape the life that they have. And so I'd like to challenge you to use your weekends or your evenings or your time off to build the life that you want. And that's been kind of my mindset as things have gone. Instead of, going out and getting trash and thinking about, oh, how to find my next distraction? How can I use that extra time to really build that forever money and that forever life that we want to build? So I'm so excited and honored to get to be a part of y'all's journey. And we will absolutely do this every Tuesday. If y'all want to have a poll going of what our topic could be next week, but we want to make sure I always bring value to you every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Amanda. And before we sign up, guys, make sure you download the John Maxwell leadership mastermind. That podcast, is the most profound impact for me and Amanda. So, Amanda, thank you for sharing that. Michael, Mike, Megan, Khải, and Mahavi, anything else before we end the call?
No, thank y'all so much.
Yeah, yeah. So two things today, that podcast with John Maxwell, listen to that, and then explore the exprecom/toolkit. If you cannot get a hold of me, Amanda, everything that you need to run your business, buyer, seller, mentorship, sponsorship, rev share, everything is in here in this one landing page. Super, super cool. Yeah, they really, really organized in a very easy to use format. So we don't get like confused and all over the place anymore.
Wait, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do I get access to like I know there's a link for this, but like you know how y'all share on Facebook, there's a header and the topic and everything. How do I get access to that so I can share it with my downstream?
Get access to, well, which one?
So you know how like say if we're talking about marketing, today's marketing, and y'all will post it on Facebook and it has like the picture
Uh-huh.
of what's going on, and then you can share the link as well. How do I get access to each week link? Or
Oh,
do I just make my own link?
yeah, the link for each grid is actually the same link. It's teamlegacyzoom.com. So
Okay.
the link is the same.
Michael, what we
Okay.
can do, what Sydney used to do for me, and I need to get back on it, is on Eventbrite, if you have them just subscribe to our Eventbrite, it should pop up and send them an email and say, hey, this is what we're doing, and we'll try to include the topic each week.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was more likely looking for.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think that would be
Yeah.
great.
And Michael kind of do that. Amanda, way we work as well, but kind of use kind of use this as an excuse. It's a reason for you to follow up with people, right? So let's say if I want to send my Harvey something for next week, ask me for a flyer, or you can use one of our generic flyers, like, hey, Mahavi, I'm going to this mastermind next week, right? Me and Amanda, we have some leader in the room. We're gonna talk about investing. We're gonna talk about buyer. Gonna talk about sponsorship. So use it as a reason to follow up with people.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of having them find out the information themselves, right? So kind of
Right.
set yourself, kind of use them as a way so that you can follow up with people, right? The Build event, I don't know if you heard about the Build 25. Brand Gold's gonna be there. It's right there in Dallas, right? So I'm using Build event. as a reason to follow up with people. Like, hey, I'm going to build, and then after that, I'm going to limitless, right? And just kind of use it as a way to follow up with people.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
do that.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but yeah. I'm gonna go to build. That's a limitless. Right after that I'm gonna be attending as well. So, yeah, more than welcome to join me in Dallas. I'm gonna be there for the whole full week.
Mike, I love that you're reaching out to your people and trying to get them plugged in. I will say when I first joined EXP, God, like almost 10 years ago, I was just a realtor and I definitely wasn't a leader. I didn't know anything about leadership at all. And I didn't like do public speaking. I didn't teach people anything. I was just there to sell houses. Like truly, I was a baby. And my mentor's mentor, the guy who recruited me, his recruiter, Rob Flick, him and his wife were like, you're going to build a legacy and you're going to go get up and talk next week and you're going to teach a class every Wednesday. And they really forced me to build the skill set that I really didn't want to do. And they painted a vision for me that I couldn't see myself. And so I think that even as leaders, even if we're up and coming, to really see in other people what they can't see in themselves, and then to push them and say, hey, this is why this is important, or hey, you really need to get into this EXP con, or hey, I think that you're capable of selling this many houses, and this is what I see for you. Sometimes it's really hard for us to see it for ourselves, but to see someone that we look up to saying we can do it, that's enough to make us get in front of a bunch of people and talk when we're naturally introverted, or to learn a skill set that we're not able to do. So I think that you're doing awesome stuff with leadership, and yeah, keep pushing each other, because if someone didn't push me, I definitely, he's just, I don't know, he's one of a kind. He just self-motivated. He shows up and just keeps, testing his boundaries. But for me, I really had to have someone force me to grow. And I think a lot of other people are like that too.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you.
Yep. Yep. Oh, well, Michael, thank you for plugging in, and thank you, Mike. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Amanda. That was really inspiring today. And thank you, Mahavi. I'm looking forward to welcome you to the team soon. All
Thanks,
right.
everyone. Have a great
Thank
week.
you all. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay. Call me later, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.